took place on a yearly basis?
Flood in El Carmen. All rice fields are out. Rice equipment underwater.
Climate is changing. Food and agriculture must too. That's the theme for this year's World Food Day. Globally, many different events are organized to raise awareness of problems in food supply and distribution and to raise money to support projects to aid in the cultivation of food plants and the distribution of food. Agricultural economist Omar Dath Maharaj offers solutions for improving the sector. Mahalia Joseph has more.
World Food Day is a day of action against hunger. On Sunday, people around the world came together to declare their commitment to eradicate hunger. When it comes to hunger, the only acceptable number in the world is 0. The climate is changing and more must be done to amp up the agricultural sector in Trinidad and Tobago and the world, according to agricultural economist Omanath Maharaj.
And farmers will tell you, fishermen will tell you, the seas are warming, the migratory species of fish and so on are moving out. We look at acidification of the coral reefs. The coral reefs are dying around the country. That impacts not only on the livelihoods of the harvesters and so on of the seafood, but also tourism. If there is nothing in the waters, people would not come necessarily for that form of tourism.
He said Trinidad and Tobago needs to look at building the resilience of farming and fishing communities to strengthen their adaptive capacity and reduce their vulnerability instead of having just short-term solutions.
Farmers now face either extended or reduced what we are accustomed to in Trinidad, which are rainy and dry seasons, which result in extra dry or hot conditions or flooding. Farmers over the years have been, in order to cope or to survive in that environment, that changing environment, they have been relying on the state for relief, either it be through flood relief or through the provision of pumps to provide water in the droughts and so on.
Some farmers in the agri-sector use shortcuts to deal with climate change, which isn't always ideal.
So you might find that they would use more inputs to bring in a higher yield in a shorter space of time. In that environment, you might use more fertilizers, which is certainly not sustainable. Unsustainability as well in the food production sector relates to wasting food, the waste produced by the food industry, which is our food and beverage containers, the plastics, the styrofoams and so on, and food losses. All of these are serious indictments on our country, and certainly we must move to address that.
One of the biggest issues related to climate change is food security for the globe. Growing food in a sustainable way means adopting practices that produce more with less in the same area of land and use natural resources wisely. The Food and Agriculture Organization is calling on countries to address food and agriculture in their climate action plans and invest more in rural development. The organization believes strengthening the resilience of smallholder farmers can guarantee food security for the planet's increasingly hungry global population and also reduce emissions. Mahalia Joseph, C News.
And in more flooding impact news, flood-affected families in Kelly Village, Piarco, St. Helena, Las Lomas and environs are getting meals and relief supplies today from farmers and concerned citizens in Operation Food, farmers opting to overcome disaster. The initiative is being spearheaded by agricultural economist Omar Dath Maharaj, who's concerned about the impact of the flooding disaster on the livelihoods of the farming and fishing communities affected.
And of course, a lot of the cost of this damage is borne by farmers, and we need to remember that their livelihoods are also compromised. Yes, we feel it in our pockets with higher food prices, but the fact is farming and fishing communities, and of course the livelihoods of the people who participate in the sector are compromised. They do not have insurances as the working class, they do not have vacation, they do not have all the other social safety net measures that are naturally afforded to the working class. So we need to be mindful about that and of course lend our hand where possible.
He also warns that national food supplies will be affected and increases in food prices may be inevitable.
A lot of local food production has been damaged on the ground, a lot of vegetable crops. Farmers are reporting the death of livestock as well, sheep and goats and poultry, ducks as well. So that of course prices will go up because we have a softening on the market and so on. Prices will go up in the coming weeks as could be anticipated. Number one, and two, ironically, In times of disaster like this, we can see a spike in the consumption of imported products, meaning canned, processed, preserved foods and so on, not primary agricultural products. If you look at the relief hampers that people share out, none of it really is what we call locally produced. So the point is that speaks volumes to the unsustainability and vulnerability of the local food system in times of disaster.
Anyone wishing to volunteer with Operation Food or needing their assistance can contact 683-1173 for more information.